Very happy to welcome Jane Seymour to the set this morning and to Ottawa for the first time. Welcome to the nation's capital.
Thank you.
Good to have you here.
Thank you.
We're going to talk about a number of things, but one of the things that brought you here is a connection to adult vaccination.
Yes,
right?
absolutely. I had absolutely no idea that adults were ever vaccinated other than the flu shot and when you go on exotic travels.
Yeah.
And I realized that I didn't know about this, and apparently only 18% of Canadians have even heard of this.
I hadn't until I got the release from your people a couple of weeks ago.
And we were just, before we started talking, we talked about the fact that we both experienced, pneumonia at some point.
That's
and
right.
I think the real issue here is to alert people to the fact that adult vaccinations are very important, and especially for the pneumococcal disease, which basically can become pneumonia, sepsis, or meningitis.
Right.
Depending on where it lands in your body. But if you have this one-time vaccine, you can prevent that.
And for people like you and I,
yes.
and especially in your case, as you've already been checked out for this,
yeah.
if you get any of those things in your system again, since you've already had pneumonia,
well,
it could be lethal, right?
Exactly. Well, the thing is that it could be lethal, or you could get the antibiotic in time and good hospitalization, and you'll probably be all right. But there could be other complications from it. The real issue is if it's preventable, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And it's sort of recommended, I think, certainly to talk to your doctor about doing it after 60 anyway.
Is that
if you have liver or kidney issues, or you've had pneumonia, or you've had compromised immune system, you definitely should talk about it.
So that's something you should present to your doctor and make sure that if in fact it's something you should have done, that it's available to you. And secondly, if you don't need it done, well, great. But it's worth talking about, right?
Definitely.
Yeah. And was it your own personal experience that enlightened you as to what happened here?
Not just my own personal, but all around me. I have a friend right now with meningitis for the third time. I have a friend with pneumonia at the moment. I've had two friends who had sepsis. And when you realize, how serious those illnesses are, and if this is, preventable, I think it's an important thing to talk about.
Yeah, and I suppose, as you get up in years, and I'm approaching a 50th birthday, so it's something to think about,
You're
right?
a baby. I'm way beyond you.
You're way busier than me, I know that. We were talking earlier. You've got so many projects on the go. I know you have 2 movies coming out.
Yes, I do. I did one called Austinland. I don't know if you ever saw a thing called Napoleon Dynamite. Well, the people who made that. So crazy comedy, but this time it's set in England, and it's about people who are obsessed, Americans who are obsessed with Jane Austen to a degree that they have to live out their falling in love with Mr. Darcy fantasy.
Right.
And I'm the awful woman in England that runs the Regency House and dresses them all up and makes it all possible.
Isn't that funny?
It's pretty funny.
And you've got another one for ABC coming out?
ABC, it's a musical, full-blown musical with Sarah Paxton and Drew Seeley, who I think is a Canadian.
Yeah.
I play a choreographer, and it's a wonderful thing called Elixir.
Right.
And then, yes, I've been working quite a lot recently, a lot of comedy.
And that's good.
Yeah.
I like that. And you're headed to Salt Lake City because you've got a big event coming up there.
I do the Mormon Tabernacle Choir, 750 members of the choir, dancers, and the orchestra perform. And they do this 4 times at Christmas, and then it becomes a special on PBS in America. I'm sure it's shown here too. I'm the speaker in this, and they have Nathan Gunn who's performing. It's apparently an extraordinary experience.
Awesome?
I'm really looking forward to that.
Did you know Jane Seymour is a grandma?
I'm a grandma.
That's hard to believe.
I'm going to be a double grandma in
Very
January.
soon, right?
Very soon, yes. I'm pretty good at this because I had the twins not that long ago.
That's right. They're 16 now?
16, yes.
Yeah. And you were telling me you're no stranger to Canada, even though it's your first time to Ottawa. You've been all over this country.
I have filmed in Vancouver, Winnipeg, Calgary, Toronto, Montreal, and Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
Yes,
well,
not
you're welcome.
Ottawa.
You're welcome to come back here anytime and just have a little look around. I know
Absolutely.
you're on a busy schedule
Oh my
right
gosh,
now.
it's so beautiful as I was driving in, just gorgeous.
I'd love for you to come back and see it in the summer with everything and see the canal and the Parliament Bill. It's beautiful.
Well, I had the privilege of knowing your wonderful Pierre Trudeau.
Oh, yes.
A long time ago. What a great man he was.
Yes. And I want to point out your son's band name?
Plead the Fifth.
Plead the Fifth. And you can go to your website and hook up with it,
and hook up on that, or pleadthefifthmusic.com. If you like kind of alternative rock, he's really good. They're about to make it, I think.
Excellent. Thanks for your time.
Thank you
Pleasure
so
to talk
much.
to you. Jane Seymour, ladies and gentlemen, and find out more about adult vaccinations. Talk to your doctor. It might be worth doing. I know I'm going to. 7:22, we're going to get busy in the kitchen with the folks from the Rose Bowl, and we're headed back to Bearbrook Game Meats with Sarah Freemark, where the buffalo roam.